Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to my very special, very weird WWE and AEW wrap up for this week. So, obviously, one or two of you will know that I had a slight issue with family members and nonsense going on all this week. And long story short, I couldn't cover Monday Night Raw as I usually do. So basically, I'm jamming everything together tonight just to talk about a week of wrestling, basically. Very interestingly, as well, I'm actually watching AEW right now because I still haven't actually finished Dynamite, to be honest. So, yeah, not too sure how this is going to work out, but we'll see how we get along. Just to let everyone know that if you've not seen the show before, that this will be on YouTube audio podcast under Geek Boy Wrestling Story. That's the podcast that I do, and it will also be on YouTube video at some point tomorrow, I guess. To be totally honest, so yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about wrestling and a couple of other bits and pieces, what I've been up to, and so on and so forth. But yeah, lots of cool stuff coming up as well. I'm going to talk a little bit about Survivor Series as well because that is on. What day are we on now? Thursday. That'll be on Sunday. Well, early hours of Sunday morning in the UK, and in the US it'll be like I don't know, about 8, 9 o'clock at night, something along them lines. So I'll be doing a live reaction to Survivor Series as well that you can tune into. I'm hoping I might end up doing a bit of a watch along for the last portion of the men's War Games. I'm not totally sure what's going to happen on Saturday, to be honest, because I've got literally like the most insane weekend that you can ever imagine coming up. But we'll see how we get on. So yeah. Anyway, Monday Night Raw. It started off brilliantly and kind of ended up going a bit down the hill overall, would be my assessment. Um, and then ended up being really cool at the end, including the title of said video, Brock Lesnar falling on his arse, which it has to be one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life, to be honest. Fair play to Brock, actually. I'm sure some of you will have seen Monday Night Raw, but I did like the way that Brock basically he fell over and then he sort of flipped himself over as if he was doing it, and he had a good laugh at his expense, so, fair play to the bloke, to be honest, but yeah, in terms of Raw, like I said, it's been on fire. Monday Night Raw. It's been like the best wrestling show that you probably on the planet for like the last 2 or 3 months. And yeah, it was decent this week, but it was just kind of it went a bit meh halfway through. To be honest, is the best way I can describe it. So it started off with Cody coming out. Well, actually, no. Roman came out, then Cody came out, and Cody said to Roman, "What do you want to talk about?" and all this business. And then CM Punk came out, and they all did the whole thing of, "You don't like me, I don't like you." I think Cody and Punk are kind of okay storyline wise. But yeah, they were sort of selling what was going to happen in the show. And yeah, it was a really cool start. And then Roman, I love the way that Roman sort of walked out of the ring. But just as he was walking out the ring, he looked at both of them and said, that gold would look really good on my waist. And Punk shouts back as he was walking off, which one of us are you talking to? And Roman sort of smiles and goes, "I'll leave you guys to figure that out." So that's definitely seed planting. Like I said, I thought for a while that maybe the main event of WrestleMania, because I think there's more to that casino advert that they keep running than meets the eye. I still think it could be a four-way match with Cody versus Brock versus Roman versus Punk, and maybe they unify the belts and they just have the one champion again. But yeah, I mean that obviously that would be absolutely amazing. But I take the point that if you throw all of them into one ring, like what have you got for the main event the previous night? I guess so. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it was a really hot start. I love Punk's line when he turned to Roman. Roman was catching strays actually the other night. When he was just like, you're caught between a rock and a hard place, and just the way that he said it was just yeah, the little smirk was absolutely priceless. So fair play to Punk for that. Then we had the Vision. Like there was a little backstage moment where they were working out who was going to be facing the Usos later on in the night, and Logan Paul was suggesting all of them. And then Heyman was like, "Yeah, it's actually going to be you, my mate." And Logan Paul didn't look best pleased about it, so it ended up being Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre versus the Usos as the main event, which was kind of okay. I mean, I don't want to say weakest because obviously they're all four of them are absolute stars, but like they are probably the least favourite people in the match, I guess, maybe other than Bronson Reed. Yeah, so we had that. What else did we have? Oh, match of the night straight away. Shout out to both lads. Carmelo Hayes versus Gunther was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I wasn't thrilled with the matchup at the start, to be honest, because I was just like, what, I don't know what we do. Oh, Kevin Knight just beat Darby Allin. No way. Cool. If you're wondering why I'm talking about AEW, guys, by the way, so I did say I was going to do like a combined show, and basically I've pretty much just run out of time, and I have not actually finished watching Dynamite just yet, so I'm just watching this at the same time as doing this so that I can do a bit of a wrap up. Let's have a look. Hyperactive Bass, how you doing, Hyperactive? You're alright, or Hyperact even. Let me just go along because I'm just on my Triller at the minute, so I'm going to have to fast forward this a little bit. Let's have a look. Right, Orange Cassidy versus Claudia. Very cool. I'm alright, thanks, mate. How are you? Right, now we're going from AEW back to Monday Night Raw. Honestly, I'm so unprepared for this as per usual. Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Carmelo Hayes versus Gunther was absolutely outstanding. It was very, very cool match. Really enjoyed it. Very, very cool. I mean, it's obvious to me now that Gunther's going to be in that final against Cena. I mean, if you look at who's left, I mean, it can't really be anyone else now other than Gunther. I mean, I suppose it could be Bronson Reed, but that just seems a little bit. I don't know. I just can't. As long as it's not Solo Sokoa, that's all I ask. Obviously, subscribers who will know that I've been doing because I've been doing this for a while will know I'm not massively keen on the MFTs, and that's putting it politely. No offense to Solo, but I just don't buy the whole act. It's just not for me, basically. Hey, PS3, how you doing, mate? How's it going? You all right, pal? Yeah, so Hayes versus Gunther was absolutely, it was lights out, brilliant, really, really good, really enjoyed it. Fair play to Carmelo Hayes as well. He's actually picking up a little bit. I just like, I know this sounds really random, and I keep going on about this, and I've said it for weeks. I really just wish that Carmelo Hayes had different ring music, and I know I sound like an old man shouting at the clouds, but his music sucks. It is just I mean, it's just awful. I mean, I don't know who the singer is or whatever, and no offense to whoever it is, but it's just absolute garbage, basically. So he needs a new ring entrance. Okay, that's a bit of a weird comment. Thank you for that. Who just won that match? Yeah, like saying, if you're tuning in, I'm literally just trying to finish off AW Dynamite, because I said I'd be watching both. And what have we got here? 2, 3. There we go. Cool. Nice one. So I'll tell you guys about that in a minute. I'm just writing down the results so I can remember. But yeah, like I said, just while I'm on my laptop, guys, yeah, fair play to Carmelo Hayes. He was really, really good on it. So whether they're going to go with him now, I don't know. He's still missing a little bit of something for me, but what that is, I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. Let's have a look at the comments. PS3 again as an Attitude Era. Yes, lad, absolutely. That was my jam. I was an Attitude Era boy. I started watching Raw. Well, I've been watching wrestling for years, but I started watching Raw in '97, I think, something along them lines. So I was Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, D-Generation X. That was my era. I absolutely loved it then. And like, wrestling's really good now, but it will never be as good as that probably for me ever again, to be honest, which is a bit of a shame, but there you go. I hope we get to see Cena versus Jericho or Cena versus a legend. No offense to anyone, but I can't stand the new wrestlers. Um, like I said, PS3. To be honest, it's not my look. It's never going to be my era. So I agree with you to an extent. I do like some of the wrestlers that we have now. Ah, there we go. It's the end of Dynamite. Sweet. I can turn that off now. Right. Yeah, I do like a lot of the wrestlers now. I mean, I'm a massive CM Punk fan. Really do like Punk for all his faults. Um, like Gunther, Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay for AEW. Absolutely love them. Just awesome wrestlers. AJ Styles, Zayn, Kevin Owens, people like that. Rhea Ripley. Probably the list goes on, but yeah, it will never be like my era of wrestling. I mean, I'm not going to have that ever again now, but it's still fun to watch, and I'll always watch wrestling. But yeah, I can understand where you're coming from, bro. Let's have a look. Yeah, I don't know if anyone saw this. The Dominic Mysterio angle with the little person. Um, I, I mean, funnily enough, I've just been talking about the Attitude Era. I thought I was back in the Attitude Era at some point. I was sat there watching Dominic Mysterio basically beating up this gentleman and like pretending that he's John Cena, and I was just like, have I gone back to 1998 or something? I mean, and honestly, it's not me being woke, darling, or anything like that, but it's just like beating up a small person and everyone laughing. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. Like, everyone's taste is everyone's taste. I wasn't particularly offended by it or anything, but I was just like, well, what on earth was the point in that? It was just so straight. I think basically the Mysterio Cena feud, I think they should have started it like a couple of weeks beforehand, basically. Um, and it's good that Dom's getting the rub because obviously he can say he's worked with Cena last, but like, and unless Cena drops the belt to him, I mean, I'm assuming the plan is for Gunther to beat Cena, go over and take the IC title. Would be my guess. I'm not totally sure, but I'm not sure about that angle. I didn't really see what the point was. And then that span off into Rey Mysterio versus JD McDonough. Really love McDonough. He's doing really well at the minute. Shout out to him. But they actually had Ray going over, and I was like, not sure about that, to be honest. That's a bit weird, but yeah, it was kind of a decent match. Let me just have a look at the comments again. PS3. Do you think they should have kept Randy Orton or CM Punk's last opponent? Yes, definitely PS3. Definitely. I get the tournament and I get doing the favours for the guy when you leave the business because I'm old school and I totally get that and that's absolutely fine. At the same time, I mean, you look who's left in that tournament. I mean, you've got what? Jey Uso, Rusev, Gunther, and then you've got I'm forgetting who the semi-final is, but LA Knight. And apparently he's got a mystery. I mean, I've pretty much found out who it is, and it's not quite. I won't say it just in case because I think it's been spoiled because they did like a pre-tape kind of thing, so they've already done the match apparently. I won't spoil it, but it's not exactly who I was hoping for. Is the politest thing I've to say. So yeah, I would have, to be honest, PS3, I would have done. If you were going to put someone over, I would have gone for Bron Breakker as a new person. If it was going to be to build a star, but if you're going to go Cena's greatest ever rival, it's either got to be Punk or Orton. And if you're going to end with that, it's probably one of those two lads. I mean, I know, I understand why they had to do the CM Punk feud at the point where they did, because obviously he was in the whole thing with Seth Rollins, and I can totally understand, I totally get that, and that's fine. But if you're going to go for top draw opponent, I mean, maybe it should have been CM Punk. I mean, I still think there might be a bit of a swerve at the end of that match, and I still think there's going to be a big person that ends up like either costing Cena or helping Cena. Um, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see the Great One turn up. To be completely honest, maybe he screws over Cena in his last match because Cena turned into a face again, maybe, or something. I don't know, but they're going to have to tart it up a little bit, to say the least. But no disrespect to Gunther. Look, if Gunther is an absolutely fantastic wrestler, if it is Gunther, fair play, because he's going to be one of their stars. I mean, you're talking in terms of stars. The company's going to be with Gunther, Bron Breakker, probably Jay for a fair few years, maybe Joe Hendry. They need to get Joe Hendry on that show because the amount of stars they're losing now. And Cody and people like that who are still young are going to need people to work with. I think Jacob Fatu, as soon as he gets injured, has got a huge upside, and if they can reheat him, I definitely think Jacob can do some good on Monday Night Raw. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Let's look at what for the working man. Man, I miss 1998 too. Oh, PS3, don't mate. So I used to basically me and the boys used to go out in Derby. You're talking this is 98. Yeah, this is how old I am. And I was like 17, 18, and we would literally go out doing the usual things that 18-year-old boys doing, drinking beer, raising hell, chasing girls about, the usual stuff, and we'd all come home having failed usually. And then we'd basically on the way home we'd go to like the off license and we'd pick up like a crate of, I don't know, 30 beer bottles or something like that, and we'd watch Monday Night Raw, which they used to have on Sky, and they'd have it on at something stupid like 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, even despite the fact that Raw was on Monday. And this wasn't like back in the day because we didn't really have we kind of had the beginnings of the internet, but we didn't really have the internet as it is now. So you had to, unless someone told you like via a tape or something like that, you never found out the results. So we'd be watching all this live, and man, honestly, we were so spoiled back in the day, dude, because we had literally like Shawn Michaels, D-Generation X, China, Mick Foley, Kane, The Undertaker, the Nation of Domination, Stone Cold Steve Austin, just all of those absolute legends. Owen Hart, God rest his soul. Brett, the WCW side, obviously you had Hollywood, you had Goldberg, Stinger, obviously the Nate, Ric Flair, and it was just like, and it was so cool because I was always Team WWE. I watched WCW, but like literally, when they do these documentaries about fans flipping the channel, that's literally what it was like, dude, back in the day. Because I don't know who carried WCW. So Sky Sports carried Raw, and then I think WCW was on. I can't remember what channel it was. I think it was some random channel on Sky. But it was like Spike or something like that in the UK. I don't know who it was, but literally, when Raw went on to a break, I'd literally put a timer on, as in an old school watch timer, for 4 minutes, and then I'd put WCW on. But then sometimes there'd be something so cool in WCW, like, I don't know, DDP or whatever, or NWO, or Scott Hall, God rest his soul. And you'd end up watching 20 minutes of WCW, then you'd be like, oh crap, I need to put Raw back on. So you'd put Monday Night Raw back on. And mate, honestly, it was I know I sound like a boring old man now, but dude, it was one of the best times of my life. I didn't appreciate it at the time, but just watching that, going out with my mates, literally watching some wrestling, waking up, bit drunk, and then going into town and talking about wrestling and watching football and stuff. It was awesome, absolutely awesome. I loved it so much. Sadly, now as a father with a young lady upstairs who happens to be the wife, can't really do that much anymore because we're all very old men now. But yeah, no, it was cool, man. I really loved it. Everything seems good back then. The movies, cartoons, music, wrestling, gaming. Dude, it was. I loved it. Like literally, it's so weird now. You watch these documentaries, because I used to watch the documentaries of like the people in the 80s and go, wow, that's so old. And now there's people who talk to me, because there's a few lads in our group who are younger than me, and they're just like, tell us about the 90s. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, am I that old? And like some of the stuff that cracked off in the 90s, obviously with new metal, when you had Eminem, you had people doing like middle fingers, you had Woodstock, all that craziness going on, and it was just, you tell people about it now, people are like, did you actually get away with all that? And I was like, yeah, that's just how life was too back in the day. You know what I mean? It was cool and everything, but yeah, yeah, no, great memories. I remember waking up in the mornings on Saturday on Sky One, I think, and it was called Absolute. Yeah, yeah, it was. They used to have the SmackDown highlights on. Yeah, they used to do. I think it was Livewire or something like that, where they used to. I think it was. They either had Michael Cole or it was Vince or JR, and they'd have like a highlights package kind of thing. And it was, yeah, no, it was awesome. So me and one of my best mates, shout out to him. He knows who he is. We would basically either I'd stop at his house or he'd stop at my house, and each one of our moms would like wake us up at like midday or 1 o'clock in the afternoon and give us like a full English breakfast. And then we'd watch that, we'd watch SmackDown, and then go into town, into Derby, in the middle of the afternoon, drinking away, talking about wrestling, watching football. Come back, mums would make us dinner, and then we'd go straight back out. Honestly, it was so cool, so cool. Great memories. But yeah, sadly, yeah, don't get to do that much anymore. But there we go. 90s were truly the actual doing real. Oh, dude, honestly, it was looking back on it now, mate. We we didn't do anything in Derby that was outrageous. Like no one ever got hurt. But I mean, some of the stuff that we used to get up to, like, I mean, we were lucky because we were the last generation that didn't have like camera phones or mobile phones and stuff. I mean, if some people caught some of the stuff that went on in the 90s, they'd just be like, what is going on? You can't do that. I remember me and one of my mates, same mate that I used to watch in Derby, um, we'd gone to Dublin and we ended up on, I forget what the street is, the really famous street in Dublin. I forget where it is now. But yeah, we went on, basically went on the piss there, basically drinking away. We had a really good night, and then we decided to have a impromptu wrestling match on the Dublin Bridge, as in the big Dublin Bridge. So we're having this impromptu wrestling match, but actually doing it in real life. And then we tried to suplex each other, and I think I ended up suplexing my mate against the bridge. I hit my head on the floor, and he knacked his leg up, and then we're both rolling around this bridge, and there's all these Irish people going, what the hell are these English guys doing? And then we both sort of stand up, and then all of a sudden there was the, I don't know what the Irish police are called, is it the Guardia, I think it is? And I won't do an Irish accent because I can't do it, but they were like, evening lads, you're having a good time. And these Irish fellas were absolute, just beefcakes, like complete units. And we were just like, sorry, sir. It's just like, it's time for you to go home, but go back to your hotel, lads, and get some sleep. We were like, yes, sir. And we basically ran off. But yeah, honestly, we used to get up to stupid shit like that all the time. And it was honestly, it was so cool looking back on it. But life moves on, so there we go. Great memories though, mate. Great memories. Um, there's not too much from Raw actually, to be honest. Like I said, it was a bit disappointing. We had Team Bex versus Team Rhea, that just basically ended up being a bit of a tear up. Becky was quite funny on the mic, but I mean, for me, I'm actually going to do something a bit random, like the wrestling awards at the end of the year, like match of the year, like heel of the year, moment of the year, and all that business. Becky Lynch for me is leading the category of heel of the year for the minute. I think she's done some of her best work like ever. I was a bit skeptical when she turned heel on Lyra a bit earlier in the year, but do you know what? She's done brilliant. I mean, the way she put Maxine Dupree over was just, because obviously I used to watch wrestling for what it was, but obviously you watch for the other side of the business now and the wrestling, and what she's done for Maxine Dupree, who is she's got some talent, but she's very green and she's just your average wrestler at the minute. I'm sure she'll get better and she has got an upside to her. But what Becky Lynch has done for that woman is just nothing short of sensational. I think it's possibly the best year of Becky Lynch's pro wrestling career, other than when she was Becky Two Belts. But yeah, I thought she was, yeah, she's just been superb. Um, let's have a look. Then, oh yes, Penta versus Solo Sokoa. I'm thinking to myself, well, they can't possibly do heel versus heel, so I'm safe, and Solo Sokoa won't be winning this one. And then Solo Sokoa beat Penta, and I'm sorry, I'm just like, I am getting slightly nervous about this now. Like, if I find out that John Cena is wrestling Solo Sikoa in his last match, I'm gonna be beyond livid, beyond words. Um, I mean, surely they can't have Solo Sikoa going over against Gunther, but the trouble was with that match now. I mean, Gunther's a heel, Solo's a heel, so I, I don't know how they're gonna work that. Maybe Sami Zayn um, comes in and costs Solo because they're in the middle of a really bad feud at the minute. This is the issue that I have with Solo. Everything he touches turns to crap at the minute. It's no offense to the bloke. Like, I liked Solo when he was in the Bloodline. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a really good hand. He's a very, very talented bloke, and he's actually got a comedic side to him as well, which I quite like. I don't buy him as this mob boss guy. Not for me, to be completely honest. Um, and then, yeah, like I said, you had Drew and Logan at the end versus the Usos. Drew and Logan went over, and then basically Team Punk and Team Lesnar, if you want to call it that, basically has a huge brawl at the end, and Raw went off the air. But like I said, that bit where Brock Lesnar fell on his arse, I mean, I honestly, I was watching with my son, and literally he looked at me as if I'd just fallen out of a dog's backside. Like, literally, I'm rolling around on the floor laughing. Fair play to Brock. I mean, obviously, I know there's a lot of controversy around him, but the way that he fell over but then flipped himself back up and was walking, like, it was just the way that he was just laughing to himself, like totally not bothered at all. So, do you know what? Fair play to Brock. But yeah, I think overall Raw, I think for the hot start it had and the hot finish it had, I'll give it a B minus. I don't think it was anything particularly to write home about. I thought the middle bit of it really sags, apart from Gunther versus Carmelo Hayes, which is definitely my match of the night, because I usually give match of the night out on these things. There goes my water. So yeah, I'm going to give it to Carmelo Hayes versus Gunther. I thought it was absolutely superb wrestling match. Very, very good. And yeah, that was Monday Night Raw, basically. Let's have a look. PS3, I've not watched WWE since 2012. Wow. One of my friends keeps me updated. Ah, right. So you will have been around for the Summer of Punk then. Um, yeah, I think that was in when Punk had his heel run with the belt. Tried watching it again in 2022. I couldn't get into it. To be honest, PS3, that's when I kind of got back into it. It was 2022. Well, maybe not 2020. I think it was about 2023 because I went full on AEW. To be honest, just because AEW at the start just reminded me, not quite ECW, but it kind of ECW adjacent with like the profanity and the like barbed wire and this, that, and the other. So it was really cool to have a really hot new company around. I mean, obviously AEW had a horrendous year in 2023 to maybe middle 2024. But to be fair to AEW, they've come back really well, and it's been excellent this year. Dynamite, really, really enjoyed it. It, to be honest, PS3, like I said, the wrestling will never be as good to me as it was back in the day. Those are great memories. I just don't think that's ever going to happen for me again. I mean, like I said, my favourite of all time, Stone Cold Steve Austin. My favourite wrestler of all, my favourite Stone Cold, I think my favourite performer, which is a completely different thing, of all time for me is Shawn Michaels. I can't say enough good words about Shawn Michaels. To me, he's the best wrestler of all time. Ric Flair's a very, very, very close second. I'd probably go Flair, but I saw more of Shawn, to be honest, because I was more a WWE guy. So yeah, I'm just going to give it to Shawn Michaels. Good, absolutely sensational. And latterly, obviously, I've been a huge CM Punk fan, for better or for worse, despite some of his behaviour. Yes, I was at Wembley Stadium when he nearly caused a riot about 2 years ago, but yeah. Yeah, those are my favourites anyway. Let's have a look. Deborah might. I'm really sorry, Deborah, if my eyesight on these things is absolutely dreadful, so I'm not going to butcher your surname. Hi from Scotland. Hello from Leeds. How you doing, Deborah? You all right? Yeah, so that was Raw, folks. So just on to AEW quickly, because I know I've kind of put this as WWE and AEW. I'm just going to confess now, like I said, if you've only just joined, I literally finished watching AEW as I was talking to you about 15 minutes ago. So I've kind of seen everything that's happened, but I've had to like go through my that Triller app really, really quickly on my TV. So I've kind of had to just piece it all together. But I think AEW is kind of the same thing as Raw. It was a good show, but it was kind of like that. The high points were really high, and then like the low points weren't low, but it was just very like meh. Like I said, it's been a bit of a meh week to be honest for the wrestling shows. I mean, it's probably all building towards Survivor Series now, but yeah, Kyle. So we've had Kyle Fletcher versus Okada. Am I Indian or what? Confusing. Ghanaian, British. Um, Yes, the first match you had Kyle Fletcher versus Okada in the Continental Classic. That was brilliant. That's the best match I've seen this week by a mile. So that's probably going to get overall match of the night. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Obviously, Okada, if you've never seen him before, because obviously I know more people on here will watch WWE and AEW, but honestly, do yourself a favour, go and watch Okada. One of the best wrestlers in the world, absolutely superb. I've had the pleasure of watching him a couple of times in England, and yeah, just sensational. Fair play to Carl Fletcher as well. I thought he was excellent in this match. Fantastic match. And surprisingly, Carl Fletcher went over actually. Okay, Garner, the Black Stars, let's go. Hey, are you a Black Stars fan, mate? That's all my water. Right, no more drinking, guys. No, not drinking. By the way, I'm not drinking. I am going to have a lovely glass of wine as soon as I finish this. So, yeah. So I'm just wondering for those, well, for the people who listen to this on the podcast, when it becomes a podcast, I'm just wondering maybe if the Don Callis family might be coming to an end because obviously you've now got the Ops, which is the new group with Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs and Joe and Hook. Maybe they had someone else. I don't know. I'm just wondering if maybe the Callis family and the Death Riders maybe dissolve and you have that as your big heel stable. I'm not too sure, but I think that's probably the way it's headed. You had the Babes of Wrath beating the Sisters of Sin. Yeah, match was all right. Very annoyingly, Tekla yet again for some reason was not on. I have no idea why. I really hope they aren't going to like screw the pooch with Tekla because she is my breakout star of the year. I absolutely love that woman. She is absolutely superb. One of the best wrestlers of the year. Great promo, great look, great moves. Her whole gimmick, the spider walk, absolutely love her. I haven't been as excited as for like a mainstream debuting wrestler for a very, very long time. Yeah, she absolutely superb. So I really hope that she's going to come back, but we'll have to wait and see. Ah, from Kenya. Ah, nice one, dude. Nice one. Yeah, no. Forgiveness. My old fella was Ghanaian. He was born in Pando, Accra. Um, and yeah, I don't know why I'm actually telling you that for, but yeah, yeah. So I'm by default half Ghanaian, although not really, because as you can tell, I haven't quite got a Ghanaian accent, but still, never mind. But yes, I would very much like to go back to home at some point because I have not been to Ghana for about 25 years now, and I would like to go back. So yeah, hopefully I will go back at some point. Really looking forward to seeing the Black Stars in the World Cup. I'm actually doing, folks, as well, by the way. I'm going to be doing like a live World Cup draw. Not me, obviously, because that'd be weird. Because they're having the World Cup draw next week, about 5:30. So I'm going to go on a live stream next Friday as well. But yeah, cool. Um, what was I telling you about that for? Oh yeah, yes. I'm just really hoping Ghana get a decent draw. I reckon with like Semenyo and Kudus and Fatu will. I reckon we've got a really, really good chance of, well, not winning the tournament, obviously, because that would be. Can you imagine if Ghana won the World Cup? That would be brilliant. From a selfish point of view, I would love Ghana to play England, just because I'd love to watch that with my friends, all the English friends. And it'd be a bit awkward for me as well if Ghana beat England, but it would be very, very funny at the same time. But still, never mind. You have such an accent, Robert. Robert? Leon. Close, close. Let's have a look. Keto Ketchum. Hey again, dude. My best friend is half Ghanaian and half Welsh. A brilliant mix. Nice one, dude. Yeah, I was going to say, we spoke before, Keto, haven't we? Hope your work's been a while. Yeah, I was going to say, mate, I remember you from the live streams like a bit earlier on when I just started them. Nice to have you on again, my friend. Half Ghanaian and half Welsh. Wow. I'm half Ghanaian, half Midlands. So if you notice a bit of a Brummie accent, that's basically where I'm from in England. So yeah, yeah, bit of a weird combination, but it kind of works, I suppose. But there you go. But yeah, long live the Black Stars. Really looking forward to the draw next week. Cannot wait till next summer. Me and my brother are planning on getting a hotel in Headingley because we live in Leeds, and we're literally going to be like basically like just going on the ale and then watching Ghana at like 11 o'clock at night, and then we're going to crawl in and get, I don't know, 2 buckets worth of KFC and a few bottles of wine. It's going to be awesome, can't wait. I'm fully Yorkshire, haha. I was actually born in Yorkshire, Keto. I mean, I live in Leeds now, but it's really weird because like I never got a Yorkshire accent, but I lived in like Telford, which is down the road from Birmingham, sort of Wolverhampton way. And I lived there for 2 years, as opposed to the time that I've lived in Yorkshire for 25 years. But I've still got the Midlands accent for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I ended up living in Telford for like 18 months and I've just fully got the accent, so it was really weird. But yeah, there we go. There we go. Since Nigeria didn't qualify, it's going to be so funny for Ghana. The Jollof derby. Jollof being thrown all over the place. Brilliant. Love it. I couldn't believe, dude, that Ghana didn't qualify. By the way, everyone, sorry if you are watching the rest of I'm just having a bit of banter. I couldn't believe Nigeria didn't qualify. That was just like so funny because I remember in the summer I went to go and see Ghana versus Nigeria at Brentford Stadium, Brentford Community Stadium, and the little charming Nigerians, I was going to say something quite rude adjacent then, beat us 2-1 in only the third match that I've ever seen Ghana play in England, which I wasn't hugely impressed with, but it was still good to see the Black Stars. And that all the Nigerians are in the end going this, that, and the other, and giving it the big one, and blah blah blah, and who owns the jollof and all this sort of shit. And I'm just like, whatever. And now, literally, Ghana qualified with like I don't know, like game to spare, and Nigeria actually out, and they went out on penalties. It was so funny. Big up to the Nigerians. I actually saw, funnily enough, my first Ghana match for Forgiveness was Ghana versus Nigeria, and it was in Brentford again. I've actually done a vlog on this if you want to check it out, because I've got a whole Ghana playlist on my channel. And I went to go and see Ghana versus Nigeria on my own. I wasn't totally clued up then because I went when I was 24, and I used to do stupid daft things like that. So I'd just like rock up to London just on my own, just like no idea where I was going, find myself to the stadium, and literally I always knew back in the day from my dad that there was always a bit of rivalry with Ghana and Nigeria, but I just thought it was kind of like I don't know, a bit of a Liverpool Everton thing, a bit of needle, but like not, kind of friendly. Boy, was I wrong about that. Literally, like we couldn't get in for the first half because there was some sort of stewarding fiasco that happened. When I got in, literally, I walked through the double doors and I've never seen anything like it in my entire life. There's literally like Nigerians just screaming at the Ghana players. There's people trying to wander onto the pitch and all sorts. There were 4 pitch invasions. So I'm sat on my own in the old Brentford Stadium. There was this Ghanaian fella. He comes running up to me and he's like, "Hey," and I was like, "Hey, nice one, bro." And he's because he was like full Ghanaian, so his English wasn't great, and he was like, I won't do his accent because I don't want to take the piss or anything, but he was just like, "You go there," and I was like, "What? You go there?" I was like, "What is he pointing at?" And all of a sudden, I saw like this pitch invasion fully going on. There's Ghanaian fans going up to the Nigerians, and I won't do the hand gesture, but I'm sure you can imagine. And literally, the Nigerians are like trying to run onto the pitch, and there's police and all sorts and this, that going on. The Ghanaian players, the Nigerian players are like, "What is going on here?" And this fellow was asking me to run onto the pitch, and I'm just like, "No, bro, I'm fine. Thank you. I'm just going to sit here." So, yeah, honestly, when I got back to my hotel at Earl's Court, literally, I just sat with the light off with a bottle of wine, and I was just like, "What the hell have I just been involved in?" You know what I mean? But yeah, no, great memories, dude. Great memories. Um, Essien was a great player. Oh, dude, what a player! What a player! I mean, the Essien thing, to be honest, Keto was really difficult for me because obviously I unfortunately support these guys at the minute who are not doing so well. And Essien always had a bit of a problem with the Liverpool supporters because there was a few really bad challenges that he did in our players over the years. I remember he went studs up against who was it now? I don't think it was Henderson. It was might have been Skirtle or someone like, I don't know. And literally, like, Liverpool fans did not like Michael Essien at all. But obviously, at the time, it was when we were qualified for World Cups, and with the Liverpool fans, I was sort of having to keep quiet because no one really knew about Garner. But I was just like, they were all going Essien and all this sort of stuff, and I'm sat there going, "Yeah." He's just our best player, but still never mind. No, dude, honestly, that side that we had, like 2006, 2010, when you had Suleiman Tari, you had Boateng, you had the man Asamoah Gyan. I know there's some Ghanaians that don't that don't like him. I love Asamoah Gyan. I just love his attitude. I thought he was an absolutely brilliant footballer, brilliant player. I think he's a proper decent lad as well. To be fair to him, but yeah, we had Stephen Appiah and people like that, and honestly, and John Mensah, and God rest his soul, Junior Agogo, and also I feel really bad. I forgot his name. How on earth can I forget his name? Oh, again, God rest his soul, Christian Atsu. I was devastated when that happened to Christian. Absolutely devastated. He was a fantastic player as well. And you had Larea Kingston. Yeah, but that side, 2006 to 2010, was absolutely awesome. I think the guys have got the makings of a decent team now, but like again, like I was saying for wrestling, it's never going to be as good as that time that we had them. Basically, JJ Okocha was one of my favourite players to watch from Match Day as a kid. Oh yeah, that Okocha. I still see that clip to this day where Okocha did that double back heel over that bloke's head when he was playing for Bolton. Oh, dude, what a player! I know he's Nigerian, but what a sensational footballer. I would have loved him to have played for Liverpool. But yeah, no, he was absolutely great. They be waffling a lot and get mad. Trust they be putting some real spice in that jollof. The jollof derby, dude. The jollof derby. Nah, dude. I remember just back in the day when I used to go to like I don't know, like Ghanaian weddings and stuff like that, and like there'd be like Ghanaians and Nigerians, and it was like proper frosty, and I was like, "What is going on?" And I kind of asked my old fellow, I was like, "Dad, why are these people all at the same wedding if they don't like each other?" And my dad was basically sat there going. So I'll tell you when we get back to Derby. And it was just that he kind of explained. I was like, "Well, why the bloody hell did you go to the same wedding for?" And he was just like, "You just have to just accept it." And I was like, "All right, fair enough." But yeah. No, I can't wait to see Ghana in the World Cup. It's going to be absolutely, it's going to be awesome. Can't wait. I'm gonna loving your performance at the moment. Keep slot. He's got more red each. Dude, I can't really argue, can I? At the minute, I mean, we are. Like I said, I apologise in advance. I don't usually swear on the channel, but we are just absolute shit at the minute, basically. Absolute. I mean, that match yesterday, I mean, honestly, I don't even have the words. It was, I've watched Liverpool for 30 years, been a fan that long, 35 years. That's top 10 worst ever performances. It was diabolical. No excuses, absolute garbage, basically. Fair play to PSV, they played really well, and shout out to them, but that is not acceptable at all. But it can't get any worse, right? And in the words of that meme, it can. Yeah, just to finish AEW did quickly, guys, quickly, because like I said, there wasn't really much that happened, to be honest. Hangman, speaking of Ghanaians, we had Prince Nana opening the door for my man Swerve Strickland. What a guy, what a guy. So the Ops came out, Samoa Joe was about to do like a whole trophy, the whole championship celebration, because obviously they beat Hangman at the weekend. And then Hangman and Swerve, when they came out together, that was so cool. They worked together really well now. I quite like the fact that they're going to be like this arse-kicking tag team. And I quite like the look of the Ops with Hook and Joe. I think that stable has got me a lot more than like the Death Riders or the Don Callis family. I think this one has actually got legs and it could be really good. I think they could maybe do with another member, possibly. I'm just wondering maybe if my guy Eddie Kingston might join, because that would be insane if you had Hook, Eddie Kingston, Samoa Joe, and Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs. That would be really cool. Oh, thank you for giving this. That's very, very kind of you, mate. Thank you very much. Sub, see you in the next one, mate. Cheers. Not at all, mate. Not at all. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, my man. Cheers. Yeah, so the Hangman Swerve thing was very, very cool. Really enjoyed that. And then basically I had to skip through the end because I literally started this live stream and I still haven't finished watching. So John Moxley tapped out Dorado, looked like a decent-ish match. Tony Storm came out after Mox had finished and basically was talking to Marina Shafir. By the way, Shafir is quality. She is fierce, that woman. Really, really like her. So it's going to be Marina Shafir and Megan Bain against Mina and Tony Storm, and then they're gonna have like a death match, which does look very, very cool actually. Really looking forward to that one. So I guess that's gonna be on Dynamite next week, possibly. Not too sure. And then yeah, Kevin Knight's just beaten Darby Allin, and I was like, whoa, what's going on there? Not sure about that. I mean, it was probably Darby's idea to get Kevin Knight over because he seems like one of those guys, but with them building Darby Allin, I wasn't sure about that, to be completely honest. I mean, why are we having Darby Allin losing to Kevin Knight? Maybe they're going to go with Kevin Knight. I don't know. But yeah, I was very, very surprised that Darby Allin lost that. And then literally, I've just seen Claudio Castagnoli beat Orange Cassidy. I literally saw about a minute's worth of it, so I can't really comment. Looked all right. It seems like Claudio's beaten Orange Cassidy like about 3 or 4 times now in very, very short stretch of time. So, and then they had a big brawl at the end, blah, 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 and then Dynamite went off the air. It was all right. Again, I'll give AEW probably a slightly better show than Raw. I'll say it was a B, but to be fair to AEW, I didn't see the whole show. I've had to watch it in pieces because I just literally have not had time to review it. So, yeah, I'll give it a B. I thought it was all right. I just didn't think it was anything to write home about, to be honest. So, Survivor Series, back onto WWE. I was going to do like a whole preview show for this, like tomorrow night. Basically, long story short, I'm trying to think of a way of phrasing this for the young people, but I can't think of an appropriate way of phrasing it, so I'm going to say a very inappropriate way of phrasing it. Basically, I'm going out for a 3-day bender, starting from tomorrow night. Basically, I'm off out with some of the boys tomorrow. Then I'm out with my son. We're going to go do some geek shopping, get some toys and stuff. By the way, there's a playlist on my channel called Geek Boy Does Toy Hunts, because I do toy hunts and comic cons as well, because hence Geek Boy Meta. And there's all loads of different stuff. Like I love horror. Like I said, I've got my Ghana playlist. I've got Liverpool, pro wrestling, uh, movies, and so on and so forth. I just do a bit of everything basically, and the odd little bits of social commentary here and there that you might have noticed in a certain other playlist that I have just started recently, but we won't go too far into that just at the moment. Um, I don't know why on earth I was just telling you that for. I've got no idea. I've completely lost my train of thought now. Yeah, no, I'm sure it wasn't very important. Anyway, so oh yeah, Survivor Series. So yeah, basically, I was going to do a whole preview show for it. Basically, I haven't got time because, like I said, I'm off out with my son. Then I've got a house party Saturday night. Then I get the pleasure of waking up after a house party with about 2 hours sleep after watching Survivor Series at the house party. Waking up with my lad again, and then I get the pleasure of watching these guys play West Ham, which I'm really not looking forward to. I will do live reaction for Liverpool versus West Ham. Quite frankly, I really don't want to do it because I already know what's going to happen this weekend. It's inevitable, as Thanos would say. I think we will probably be working with a new manager this time next week because I just can't see anything other than West Ham winning. But that is football. We're not talking about football. We're talking about pro wrestling. So yeah, Survivor Series. Can't wait for Survivor Series. I'm usually more of a SummerSlam guy or a Money in the Bank guy. Those are like my two favourite pay per views outside of Mania. But this looks quality. You've got Dom Mysterio versus Cena. You've got the women's War Games match, which is absolutely stacked. By the way, shout out to Lash Legend. She's awesome, absolutely awesome. I've loved her since she's been on Monday Night Raw. She's got such a good look, like really powerful wrestler as well. Like she just looks like a pro wrestler. She's really good. Really enjoying her work at the minute. Shout out to Nia as well. I think it's reheated her. I think her and Lash could be really good together. Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella. Yeah, I was never a Bella fan back in the day. Really, I appreciate everything that Nikki's done, obviously, and Brie. Obviously, they led the way for the women of today. In a sense, I wasn't a massive fan. I'm not really a huge fan of this match. I would prefer to see Steph against I don't know, like Stratton or Jade Cargill, and I really want to see her versus Rhea Ripley. Alexa Bliss versus Vaquer would be really good. Charlotte, obviously, Becky Lynch. There's so many other women that she could work with. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So there's the men's war games as well, obviously, which looks absolutely freaking awesome. So just very quickly, by way of a preview, I think John Cena versus Dom Mysterio. I'm just going to go Cena to beat Dom. Dom still gets to keep his belt, and he's still hot because now he's got the rub from Cena. Cena gets to keep the title, and then it gives real stakes for his last ever match because I can't see past it being Gunther versus Cena, and knowing Cena, I think he'll put Gunther over. I really do. I can't see John wanting to win his last match because in the last 5 years, the amount of people that Cena's lost to is absolutely bloody ridiculous. He lost to bloody Austin Theory for God's sake. He lost to Solo before he went on this last run, obviously. So he has been putting a lot of the younger guys over. I just think he'll end up. I think he'll end up beating Dom Mysterio personally. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Cena to go over and then face Gunther in crikey 2 weeks time. Cena's last match. By the way, that'll be I'll be doing like a live reaction on the channel to Cena's last match as well, which will be a bit emotional. Not so much for me because I was never really a big Cena guy, but obviously I respect his work now and everything he's done for the business. So it'll be a shame to see him go, but obviously he's gone on to bigger and better things. Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella. I will be raging if Nikki Bella beats Stephanie Vaquer. Absolutely raging. One would hope that she's there just to put Steph over. So I'm going to go Steph, but there's something in the back of my mind that says WWE might go the foolish route. I really hope they're not going to go the foolish route and have Nikki Bella go over against Stephanie Vaquer because that would be insanely stupid as far as I'm concerned. But Yeah, I'll just go for Steph to win. Women's War Games, I reckon Rhea's team goes over. Because obviously I mean, out of the 3 or 4 altercations, like the Becky Lynch team has gone over, um, like what 2 or 3 times now, and this was the only time they got a bit of revenge. Um, so yeah, I reckon Rhea's team goes over on Women's War Games, and then the blokes match looks absolutely stacked. I mean, that has to be one of the best teams, two of the best teams you've ever seen. I mean, you've got Drew, Logan Paul, Brock Lesnar. I've mysteriously forgotten the other two, which is not helpful. I'll come back to that in a minute. Cody, um, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and the Usos. Who the hell are the? Oh, Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker. I mean, like, I it looks insane, absolutely insane. I would love to see Bron Breakker and Brock Lesnar get into it as well, because you'd think, looking at Breakker, he's probably one of the only people that naturally looks as if he could kick Brock Lesnar's ass. Um, it just looks so good, but I'm gonna go with Brock's team to win at War Games. I think I don't know. I don't know about a heel turn. I just wonder maybe whether there might be some sort of miscommunication between Roman and Rhodes, or Rhodes and Cody, or even Rhodes and CM Punk, or maybe CM Punk and Roman, which they've teased a little bit. Maybe that's the plan going into Mania, because obviously we had. I mean, this is insane, but we are not on the road to WrestleMania just yet. But I mean, in a month's time, literally, we'll be on the road to the Royal Rumble. I mean, the Rumble literally now is in what, 2 months, which is just bizarre, really. I can't believe how fast this year's gone, but it's been a great year for wrestling. I've really enjoyed it. By the way, on the channel, if you're a wrestling fan, I don't just do like live streams. I've actually got loads of wrestling shows on there. So I've been to all 3 AEWs at London. So there's the 2 ones at Wembley Stadium. There's Forbidden Door at the O2 Arena that I went to this summer. I've been to WWE Sheffield, that's on the channel. I've been to WWE Leeds, which is where I'm from. That's also on the channel. That was really cool. I've got like Joe Hendry against The Miz on the channel. That was really awesome. I've got Rev Pro Wrestling, which is British wrestling, if you don't know. That's also on the channel. So there's loads of wrestling highlights on my channel. So if you just go, if you do like and subscribe, if you just go to Geek Boy Does Wrestling on the playlists, it's all in there basically. There's loads and loads of wrestling content, so you're more than welcome to check it out. And like I said, wrestling wise, I'm on 2 or 3 times a week talking about it, because like I said, I just absolutely love pro wrestling, and I've loved it for 30 years. But yeah, I'm just going to go with, I'll go with Brock's team to beat CM Punk's team, with maybe some sort of fallout between Punk and Roman, would be my guess. I don't think anyone's going to come back, maybe to, I don't know, that's someone that we don't know is going to come and get involved in the match, maybe. I'm not too sure. Um, I mean, there could be an outside interference, maybe, I don't know. But there's no one obvious that I can think of who would want to interfere in that match, really. But I'm wrong. There might be some like massive surprise with someone I've not even thought of, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe Jericho might come back. You never know, because I don't think he's under contract anymore. I really don't, but I could be completely wrong. But yeah, yeah, that's about it, guys. Really. So just thanks everyone who tuned in tonight. Thank you very much for giving us some keto, talking to me about God and everything. That was really really cool. Really like chatting with you guys. And of course, my mate PS3. PS3, it was a pleasure talking to you, mate. It's nice to speak to someone from my era, like the greatest era of pro wrestling, in my opinion, the Attitude Era. Yeah, it was nice reminiscing, dude. So thank you very much for that. It was lovely speaking to you, mate. Yeah, in terms of what's coming up next, folks, because like I said, I'm not going to be on long for tonight because I need to sleep and eat and chill out for a little bit. Yes, what's coming up this week? So, Toy Shots Friday is tomorrow, which happens every week on the channel. I'm also doing this thing called I'm doing a vlog premiering the vlog even from Red Brick Market, which is like a really cool alternate, like gothy horror, um, indie alternative-y like clothes shop thing in Sheffield, which I went to late last summer. It's actually around the corner from Bramall Lane, which is obviously where Sheffield United play. Honestly, dude, it was so cool. I'd thoroughly recommend. If any of you are living in the north of England, and especially in Sheffield, if you've not been, do yourself a favour and go to Red Brick Market. I'm actually going to take my son next year because he's into all that. He's into like horror gaming and stuff like that. That's what all his mates love. So he's bigger into that sort of part of the culture and stuff. So, but yeah, I'd thoroughly recommend going to Red Brick Market in Sheffield. I think there's one in Liverpool as well, so I'm going to try and look for that next time I go and see the Reds, which I'm not all that keen on doing at the minute, but that's a completely other story. So yeah, that's on Friday. Saturday, there won't be the late night SmackDown show like there usually is because I'll be doing live reaction to Survivor Series instead. I want to say that's probably going to be about 3:30 in the UK Sunday morning, so I might not be on that long, to be completely honest, because I will have to be getting up for a hyperactive 12-year-old who will be getting up at 6:30, which means I will be getting 2 hours on Sunday night, which is going to be awesome. And then, yeah, Sunday I'll be doing live reaction, unfortunately, to Liverpool versus West Ham, which I'm not hugely looking forward to, but I will be there, rain or shine. Yeah, so that'll be about 4 o'clock after the Reds have finished. I'll probably do a Liverpool reaction sort of podcast. Oh, thank you, Nicole. That's lovely. I don't think you can do because, like, I'm not an actual accredited YouTuber person just yet. But thanks. I'll check if I can get that. I'm fairly sure I can't, but yeah. Thank you very much. For the thought at least. Anyway. What was I saying? Yes, I'll put on Liverpool live reaction on the Monday night. Monday Night Raw reaction is at 10:30 on the Tuesday. Wednesday, sadly, yet again, is Liverpool. That is Liverpool versus Sunderland, which, yeah, I mean, if we just got walloped by PSV, I mean, I dread to think what that match is going to be like. I'll be back with just AEW reaction on this time next Thursday. And then, yeah, like I said, a week tomorrow, I'm actually going to be doing the live World Cup draw, but like for these guys, for the Mighty Ghana. Yeah, that's going to be really cool. Cannot wait for that. I really hope we get some big teams and it's going to be awesome next summer. I'm thinking of doing like a sort of weird Ghana vlog, but in Leeds. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, to be honest, but I will think of something next summer, basically. So yeah, I'm doing that, and then, oh yes, just speaking of Liverpool, I then get the pleasure of seeing the Reds lose to my local team of Leeds United. And I know obviously you can't see over my shoulder, but Leeds United basically are 15 minutes down that road, round the corner from my house. And pretty much all of my mates support them. And it's going to be a horrendous and very embarrassing ordeal, I'm sure. But there we go. So, yes, I'll be doing live reaction from Leeds versus Liverpool. I will whisper this just in case any of the locals are listening, but I'm thinking of going to the ground to see if I can wave off the Liverpool coach. But obviously, for obvious reasons, I will have to do that rather discreetly if we have in fact lost. So yeah, I'm not sure how or why I'm going to do that. Hey DT, how you doing, mate? You all right? I saw your video, DT, today for 17 seconds exactly. So it's an improvement. I actually did click on it today, but then my boss arrived at work and then I got basically demolished at work for the entire day, and I had to go and lie in a very dark corner earlier. Yeah, but I did actually see you today. It was a good 17 seconds, dude. Well done. I'm sure I'll be able to hopefully do it. I will try and watch for a full period at some stage, dude, if I can do. But honestly, mate, just at the minute, we're going back to work after, well, as you know, with all the depression stuff that I've had. It's hit me like a brick wall this week, an absolute brick wall. Um, 10 a.m. till 10 a.m. till 9. Bloody hell, crikey. Um, oh, I wonder what I clicked on then. Because I've got subscribed to you, mate, and then there was something that. Oh no, I know what it was. I was going through my subscriptions. No, so you weren't live. No, I've clicked onto one of your videos thinking it was live, but it wasn't. Like, just ignore me, mate. It's been a very, very long time. Very, very long day today after yesterday's therapy session, and then a 8-hour work shift. Then it's actually payday today, and then I've had to go shopping because people actually need to eat, as I've discovered going back to normal life. So I had to do that as well, pay a load of bills, and then do research for this. And basically now I can feel the body getting a little bit tired. So yeah, it's been a very, very long day, very long day. One more day at work to go though, so let's keep it positive. And then yeah, the weekend. What was I saying? Yeah, so I'll be doing live reaction for Leeds, Liverpool. Like I said, I'm going to try and go to the ground, but I will have to go in disguise. I'll just have to. I'll have to do a Mr. Burns from The Simpsons when he won't put that moustache on. I don't know if any of you guys watch The Simpsons. It's one of my favourite ever Simpsons moments when Mr. Burns is trying to get that £1,000,000, and they're at I think they're at a town hall meeting, and Mr. Burns just appears. And it's just Mr. Burns, but he's got this moustache, and that's it. And he's like, "Hello, my name is Mr. Snrub, and I come from someplace far away." Yes, that'll do. That was my really crap Mr. Burns impression, by the way. Honestly, shout out to Mr. Burns, the greatest character that anyone has ever invented in the history of the world, apart from Spider-Man. Anyway, yeah, this is why I need to go to sleep, folks, 'cause I'm just coming out of random crap there. But yeah, what else was I going to say? Yeah, so I'll be doing Ghana, Leeds versus Liverpool, and then on the week on Sunday, I'm going to a Krampus market, which is like a horror Christmassy market thing in Leeds, where one of my mates has got a stall. I'm not totally sure where it is. If you live in Leeds, it's somewhere on the edge of not the St John Centre, the Merrion Centre. So it's the first centre market thing that we've got, like shopping centre thing that we've got as you come into Leeds, basically. So, yeah. And basically, long story short, I might do a vlog from there. It probably won't be like a live stream or anything, because I have tried doing live streams at Comic Cons and stuff, and like really annoyingly, like you can never actually do like live streaming of Comic Cons on YouTube. Like seriously, every single time I attempt to do it, like even if you've got like the network password, you can never get the damn things to work, because obviously a lot of Comic Cons are indoors and so on and so forth. But yeah, yeah, I'll do a vlog, and like there'll be some shorts, so hopefully it'll be quite cool actually. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things coming up, and also as well, like I said, I'll be doing live reaction to the John Cena last time is now, whatever it's called, between him and probably Gunther. So yeah, there's loads and loads of stuff coming up on the channel, and then I will be taking the Christmas break, because I am already looking forward to my Christmas break. But yeah, no, there's lots of stuff, cool stuff coming up. So yeah, just stay tuned, basically. Oh, excuse me. Hey, hi son, how you doing? Hi Finn. Yeah, oh, a challenge. You said Batman wrong. Oh, DT. See, he's my second favourite, but like honestly, I can't go against Spidey. I've loved Spider-Man probably since before I love Liverpool, probably since I love pro wrestling. Spidey's literally the first awesome memory I had, even before Transformers, because I was collecting Transformers comics, the UK versions that Furman used to write in like 86, 87, whenever it was. I think it was a bit before that, maybe 85, but like I've been collecting Spider-Man comics since 1985. Honestly, I just love Spidey so much. I don't know what it is, but like he's just awesome, and I really want to see Miles Morales. in the Avengers. It's time for Miles Morales to appear. Number three on the list would also, I'm just throwing this out to the room, by the way, for superheroes. Number three will be John Constantine. So that's my top three, basically. Randomly as well, in my top five, this is probably a bit of a stretch because it was a bit of a niche comic, would be Cassie Hack from the Hack Slash slasher sort of mid 2000s, well, sort of mid noughties. It was like this horror comic basically, and she's this girl called Cassie Hack, and she's got a baseball bat, and she had all goth t-shirts on and stuff. She was really, really cool, and like she had like battles against Ash from Evil Dead, Chucky, Leprechaun, Reanimator. By the way, watch Reanimator. Weird bloody film, but watch it. It's very, very cool. Let's have a look. Raw was hilarious. Mini, Cena, and Boxlets. Yeah, Finn, to be honest, I talked about that earlier, mate. Like, I thought the Brock Lesnar thing was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It wasn't so much when he fell on his arse, but it was funny. It wasn't quite Shockmaster funny. By the way, Finn, you're obviously a lot longer than me, but if you've never seen, if after this you want a laugh, just type in Shockmaster. If you've not seen it before, it is literally one of the funniest. It put it this way, it's funnier than Titus O'Neil falling through the ring or falling under the ring by a million miles. But yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say the mini Cena thing. I didn't think it was like offensive or anything. To be honest with you, I didn't really find it. I didn't really see what the point of it was. To be honest, they did this many years ago when Bret Hart had left after the Montreal Screwjob, and basically the next night, so Bret's gone and he's gone straight to WCW. And the next night on Raw, they had HBK coming out with Triple H, and they were like challenging Bret to come out, knowing fully well Bret wasn't there. And then they basically had a little person come out dressed as Bret, and like Shawn pushed him over, and it was. I remember at the time people were like, "Oh, not sure about that," but again, this was like the Wild West of the late 90s, where you could basically do and say whatever you want when you were pleased, whenever you pleased to. I mean, like the right wing versus left wing culture war versus woke crowd would have a fit with what was going on back in the 90s, honestly. But honestly, that was just how life was doing back in the day. We just thought it was all normal. You used to just literally have like lads having tear-ups in towns, and you would have like police separating them. They didn't even go to jail. They'd just be like, you that way, and you that way, basically. And then you'd see the lads in town, that not that I was ever involved in it, but lads would see each other the next Saturday night, and they'd all be shaking hands going, "That were all right, good tear up, good lad." And it was just random stuff like that. The 90s, early and late 90s was so random. Very cool times, but sadly the 90s has gone now. Was I ever into Mask? Oh, I was for a bit, DT. I never collected it. I say that I had which Mask figs did I have? Who was the blonde guy with the? He was a blonde guy, and he had a grey uniform, and he had like a red X. I had him. I had the general person. I had the blue guy with the sort of silver mask. So yeah, I never really got into it. I tell you what, I did used to like DT, because I think you and me are roughly like similar ages. I don't know. I used to like a show called Centurions, which used to be on Going Live, or it was either Going Live or Get Lost in the early to mid 80s, maybe the late 80s, I think it was. When you had like Jake Rockwell and Max, whoever it was, and Ace McLeod. I loved Ace McLeod, he was awesome. But yeah, and I used to watch stuff like that all the time, dude. I used to watch like Banana Man, Super Ted, Thundercats was awesome. Who else did we have? Obviously Transformers. I'm a huge Transformers guy, I still love it now. And yeah, I just think we had the best cartoons in the 80s. I just don't think any of this I'm sure that the young people now would highly disagree, but I mean, you watch Transformers the movie now, because I still watch it with my son, like the one that was in 1986, and it still stands up now, to be honest, in my opinion. But There you go. I'm just the old man shouting in the clouds. There we go. Finn does WWE. I think Gunther wins the tournament during his entrance. Sheamus attacks him and brings out his friend Edge. Could do. Could do. Possibly. I can't see it happening, but you never know. You never know. See, this is the thing if Gunther just goes over, because, like, I just thought it was going to be someone really excited. I do like Gunther, don't get me wrong. He's going to be an absolute star. He's a star already, but he is going to be like one of the guys going forward. But Cena versus Gunther is a really good match, but it's not. You don't put it this way. You don't need to sell John Cena versus CM Punk. You don't need to sell John Cena versus The Rock. You don't need to sell John Cena versus Randy Orton. You don't need to sell John Cena versus Edge / Adam Copeland or Chris Jericho, and so on and so forth. Gunther's not quite there yet, but maybe he will be one day. I don't know, but it's a bit disappointing. But I mean, it is what it is, dudes. Unfortunately, my mum was born in 1985. I was born in 1980. It's her birthday tomorrow. Oh, happy birthday, Mrs. Finn. I'm 49, bud. Oh, depression, you're just a little bit ahead of me, mate. I'm 46. Am I 46? Am I 46? I'm 45, DT. I don't even know how bloody old I am. Oh dear, anxiety, depression, and panic attacks. You get to 45, and you forget how bloody old you are. We're on the very same trajectory there. Always will stand up. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Finn does WWE. You look younger than 45. Oh, thank you. What, me or DT? I think DT looks significantly younger than I do. I'll take it though, Finn. Thank you. Yeah, I think with me, just because I am just basically a big kid that still loves comic books and comic cons and horror movies, and is just an absolutely massive geek who can just remember all. I can't remember like a 12 times table, but I can tell you exactly the entire plot of Terminator 2 if you would require it. I think that's why a lot of people kind of think that I'm a bit young, because, like, I just like cool things. I've always liked cool things. I've never really been like a. This is going to make me sound really bad. Oh, look at this lovely museum, and yeah, look at this lovely countryside and stuff, and that. Like my bless my mum and dad. I'm not saying people shouldn't be like this, obviously, because I try to educate my son to look at historical things now, but I'm kind of lying to him as well, because I've just never been interested in stuff like that. Like, my mum and dad used to say, "Oh, when you get to 45, you'll want to go on nature walks and go to national parks and paint and do this, that, and the other." And I always said to me, the old fella, God rest his soul, that Dad, that is not going to happen, mate. It just ain't going to happen. And yeah, I was right, because I just have no interest in that sort of stuff, to be honest. Fair play if you have. It is just me being a complete ignoramus. But, like, look, I would rather watch V for Vendetta than go in a museum. Basically, is the best way I can put it. By the way, shout out to V for Vendetta. It's 20 years old. If you've not seen it, go and watch V for Vendetta. Even better, as a random tip, if you've never read V for Vendetta, best graphic novel of all time, you'll love it. Read it. Do you look me with 45? Lord, pull up it. Oh, Finn, I was really hoping we could get through this without someone mentioning Liverpool. Right, just quickly. Yeah, I mean, it was diabolical. I don't have the words. I haven't actually written my Substack that I usually write for Liverpool after every match, because I just couldn't. I just couldn't bear the sight of them. It was an embarrassment. I mean, look, if they lose 2-1 to PSV, but they leave it all out on the line, they lose by 2 unlucky goals. But I'm always one of these. If the lads go out and try their best, and there's 2 unlucky goals, and I don't know, they're down to 10 men or something, but they've tried their absolute best, that's all I can ask. That's fine. It's very rare that I can say Liverpool don't try, especially over the last 10 years. Last night, there was a very disturbing lack of effort. Not lack of effort, that's wrong. Just in terms of it came across as they were being very spoiled last night. Like they went 2-1 down. It just looked like a child chucking toys out the pram basically. Um, and it just looks like at the moment, Finn, to be honest, they they go 2-1 down or 1-0 down. It's just like they're like, screw this, we'll get it right next time, let's sack today off. And I'm like, no, it's like the thing that annoys me more than anything, when PSV scored, you talk it was the 51st minute. With extra time, it's like, lads, you've got 47, 48 minutes, there's no panic. Like, if you don't get the equaliser to the 80th minute, that's fine, but just carry on going. You know what I mean? So, and it's just like they're just going absolutely mental trying to get the goal straight away. It's like, lads, just calm it down for a few minutes, keep the ball, keep possession, and just chill. You know what I mean? But they're just, I don't know, Finn, to be honest. I really do not know. Don't know, to be quite honest. You look about 25ish. Oh, thank you. I will tell Miss Meta that. I'm sure she would. I'm sure she would disagree. By the way, this is a funny one for you. My missus's favourite man in the world is Roman Reigns, and I kind of look at her going, "Love, what do you expect me to do with that? Like, I don't look like Roman. Roman Reigns is like, look, I'm the straightest bloke you'll ever see, but like, Roman Reigns is like the most beautiful man in the world, who's like built like a Greek god. I'm a big fat man. I can't compete with that. It's like, what are we doing here? You know. So yes, there we go. Anyway, sorry, just randomly humiliating my wife for some reason. There we go. Oh yes, DT, yes, lad. The Lost Cities of Gold. Yeah. I cried, DT, at the Lost Cities of Gold. I forget which episode it was, but I think one of the children they went into this. God, it was so long ago since I watched it. The kids end up in this temple, and I think it was, I don't know, it was like the 10th, 11th episode, something like that. But then one of them gets lost, and then basically there was this door that went behind this kid, and then that was the end of the episode. And my mom came in at the time, and I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 or something like that. She's like, Leon, what's wrong? And I was in flood of tears going, he's died. The door killed him. My mum must have been sat there going, Leon, it's a 4 o'clock in the afternoon kids TV show. He's not going to be killed by a dog. But I was adamant that this child had died. And then the next week I was like, hey, Mom's just sat there with a magazine going, Jesus Christ. But there we go. No, I love Lost Cities of Gold. I tell you what I used to like, DT. You might remember because we're roughly the same age, like I said. I used to like Ulysses. What was it, Ulysses and such. That was awesome. And I used to like something called Brave Star as well. Actually, it wasn't as well known as like your Transformers or your He-Man as your Thundercats, but that was quite cool. There was another one called. I see what I did used to like this. It wasn't very well known as much as then, but Visionaries. Visionaries was cool because they used to have like they'd have like these staffs that had like not TVs on them, but they had like what are they now? They had these staffs that had like these pictures, and like the good guys and the bad guys would hold them, and they could summon like animals and spirits to come out of these things to like fight each other and stuff. Honestly, it was really cool. Visionaries. It's a shame it never really caught on, but obviously the 80s was stacked back in the day, man, because you had literally like that Transformers, you had Thundercats, you had obviously He-Man. I mean, towards the late 80s, you had Turtles. Like honestly, we had so many cool shows back in the day. So I mean, I felt sorry for Visionaries, but like it was just such a crowded market that like not everyone could like really get over, to use wrestling parlance. But yeah, yeah, so many great memories, dude. Let's have a look. Hey, Alfie, you all right, mate? How you doing? Yo. Let's have a look. Uh, wow. Um, Let me just remove him. So does your president, Sunshine. My shirt sucks, apparently. Yeah, well, at least I don't support a load of people that go around trying to kill black people. Anyway, let's have a look. Are you slot in or slot out? I think, to be honest, but this is a bit of a cop out. I don't know. I do. I just feel personally, I'm not saying that you or anyone else should feel guilty. This is just me. This is a little thing. This is a Leon thing. I feel incredibly horrendously bad for even considering wanting a guy who literally, and this is true, outside of the birth of my son, meeting my missus, the birth of my brother, has given me the best moment of my life without a shadow of doubt. When Liverpool won the league, that was life completed for me. Like I could have died happy. Basically, that's really really bad. When Liverpool won the league at Anfield with fans, that was one of the greatest days of my life, without a shadow of a doubt. And it came at a really bad time for me personally. As some of you guys know, obviously I've had depression and anxiety and blah 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 and all that good stuff that I'm getting over now. And it came at just the right time, and I can't legitimately I cannot thank Arnold Slot enough for that, and I really respect the bloke. We played some fabulous football last season, and like I said, he gave me the one thing that I've always wanted. I know we all won the title, but that was during COVID, and that sucked. But like, I got to watch it with my brother. We went out on the lash afterwards with a few of the lads, hugging and kissing and all this business. We went to Weatherspoon, causing absolute chaos. Went to a few bars in Leeds. Went to Creek Street. My brother randomly halfway through the day just booked a Premier Inn, despite the fact we both had houses in Leeds, and he was just like, "Yeah, come on." And it was, it was a great day of my life, without a shadow of a doubt. Other than the birth of my son and all that business, so in a roundabout way, I feel so guilty about asking for someone who's given me that to lose his job. But at the same time, I accept that Liverpool Football Club it's not an arrogant Liverpool thing at all, really not. You can't lose 12, you can't lose 8 games of football, 9 games of football at 12 at any level in the top 4 divisions. I mean, there would be, you would have Exeter City fans who would be well within their rights to be going absolutely mental if they had lost 9 out of 12 games. I think any fan, to be honest, even if your team historically hasn't been too good, is gonna be really pissed off that you've lost 9 out of 12. And we're no different. But it's to be honest, Phil, I'm stalling for an answer. There's still part of me that wants him to stay. Basically, is probably where I land. But I accept, obviously, look, put it this way, if we lost to West Ham, Sunderland and Leeds, then let me put it this way, as much as I like Arne Slot, I can't justify us losing 12, maybe 13 matches out of 16, is what I would say. But he has to avoid losing to West Ham. Like, I think if he comes away with a 1-1 draw, it's like, right, we've got a point on the board. West Ham's not the hardest place to go, but it's not the easiest place to go. Point away against West Ham, fine. Get Sunderland. If you can beat Sunderland, great. If you can get another point at Ellen Road or perhaps win, and then he's got 7 points out of 9, fine. And then he's got the only trouble is then you've then got Brighton, Inter Milan, and Tottenham. That's what could do for him. So I don't know if I'm going to see. To answer your question, I'm going to say I'm still slotting, but I mean the next 2 games. I think if he loses at West Ham, I think Giovanni Van Bronckhorst is basically taking the team on Wednesday, but that's what I'd say anyway. Let's have a look with the Golden Yes, the Golden Falcon. That Golden Falcon dude, absolutely. Yeah, I remember the Golden Falcon. It was awesome. I think there were 4 kids, weren't there? Was there like 1 girl and 3 lads or something? I can't quite remember. Did they write for the parents? It's been so long, DT, since I watched it, mate, to be honest. So let's have a look. Ask your Mrs. Meta if she would cheat on you, for Roman. Says no straight away. She's like, Finn, I can tell you she would. I don't need to ask her. She, she, she was just like, well, we could come to an arrangement with the childcare. And I was just like, wow. Wow. But then I turned around to her and said, well, dear, let's hope I never meet Jessica Alba. Anyway, moving swiftly on from my marital preferences. Let's okay. Yeah, remember both of those. Yeah, like a looking glass kind of thing. Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. Yeah, exactly that. No, I miss all those cartoons. They were really, really good. Like I was speaking to PS3 earlier. It's probably because we're all getting on. Because look, we're all going to say like our eras were the best and everything, but like genuinely, I think for cartoons, I think the 80s was the era. But again, I obviously am biased because I grew up in it. But you know, was it Brave Star that could summon the strength of a bear? Yes, I think so. I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. I think it was a bear. Well, there was the fellow on the horse, and I think there was like a robot horse or something like that. Because they had a robot horse in He-Man that was called Stridor. But I swear blind there's another one in Brave Star as well. To be honest, DT, like I said, I didn't watch Brave Star as much. I watched it for a season, I think, after school, but I didn't watch it as religiously as Transformers or He-Man and stuff like that. So, um, I don't know, dude. I mean, I did try to show my son actually Brave Star because obviously you've got to think he's watching all these amazing animations like Five Nights at Freddy and stuff. Yes, that's how bad my parents is. My lad watches Five Nights at Freddy, uh, which I shouldn't really be announcing actually thinking about it. But yeah, no, so he watches that. He watches Minecraft memes and all this sort of stuff. So obviously he's watching the cutting edge. Well, what's cutting edge now? And he found like, look, son, this is He-Man. Like, literally, he's sat there going, Dad, seriously? What is that? And I was like, well, it was really good in the 80s. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And you're like, oh. So, there you go. So, look, Finn. Uh, Sorry, I haven't been in the lives lately. I've been so busy and tired with school. I'm in year 11 last year, but I'm going to college next year. School. Oh, that's fantastic, Finn. Oh, congratulations to you. I hope you can do it, dude. I hope you can do it. Um, it's a very, very good profession to go into. No, I wish you all the best, mate. Yeah, it's good to have an ambition and a dream. I mean, shout out to you. Literally, like I had no idea at your. I can't believe I had no idea at your age. I had no idea, dude, what I wanted to be, and I still don't now, really, to be completely honest. But I didn't want to be a thing, to be honest. I just wanted to. I just wanted to go out and have a laugh with the lads, basically, and I've never really changed that much, to be honest. I mean, obviously, I'm a dad now, and I've got responsibilities and like jobs, running my own section, and so on and so forth, and blah blah blah. Blah. So, but yeah, I kind of just like doing that stuff like this, dude. You know, what I mean? I never wanted to. I never wanted a career. I mean, I don't know, it probably makes me sound really, really bad. And like, by the way, if there are any other people of Finn's age, go and get a career. Don't do what I did and go out on the lash with lads and stuff. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't change it for the world because I got to go to really cool places like Czech Republic, Portugal, Sweden, um, where else have I been? Obviously Ghana. I went to New York on my own for 10 days, which was the most amazing thing that I've ever done. Just wandering around Times Square at 4 o'clock in the morning when there were literally millions of people still up. Like, I wouldn't change their memories for the world, but that's just me, dude. But yeah, that's fantastic, Finn. I really, really hope. Just best of luck to you. And you keep going with it. If that's your dream, then yeah, go for it, man. Let's have a look. Hyperactive. Hi, hyperactive. Have you had a cup yet? I sound like I need a cup of tea. But what I actually want is a glass of red wine. I've got to be completely honest. Is I'm gonna have a bit of a chill out tonight. And just have a bit of calm after today because today was a bit much, to be honest. So I think a nice large glass of red wine, possibly with a bit of Netflix, possibly, I think, is in my immediate future. Yeah. But yeah, I sound like I could do with a cup of tea. So there we go. That's just me. There we go. Yeah, that's the one. Absolutely. Oh, night, Finn. Yeah, glad to talk to you again, mate. I only remember it vaguely. Yeah, it was one of the. It wasn't really very well known, to be honest, was it? Like I said, Visionaries DT was one of my things, but again, it wasn't that much of a thing back in the day. Got to run, buddy. Need to get some sleep. It's been a long day. Yes, you to tell me about DT. I'm wrapping up so right now as well, mate. Love to talk to you again. I promise I will see more than 17 seconds of your stream at some point. But yeah, see you later, DT. Take care of yourself, mate. Finn wants to be a police officer. Well, Finn, like I said, mate, one thing I would say, you go for it. You go for it. If that's your dream, you go for it, mate. And don't let anyone tell you any different. Don't let people tell you can't do it. If that's your dream, you get out and go for it. And I wish you all the luck in the world, mate. All the luck in the world. But yes, there we go. Anyway, right, folks, as DT has just said, I also need to go and get some sleep, to be honest. So, no, I've really enjoyed tonight. Thank you, everyone, for chatting away. It's been I've had some really cool conversations with lots of cool people. And I really genuinely like you're not just subscribers. I appreciate talking to all of you. Like I said, I've said this a million times. Um, Obviously, my family mostly kept me going during the summer. It's been really, really difficult mental health wise, but obviously my missus and my son, shout out to them and all my mates. But you guys would come a very close second, and I do mean that because I was really, really struggling probably about 3 or 4 months ago. And it's yeah, you guys were nice to me and you were kind to me. So genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I absolutely appreciate it. It's a thank you to all of you, genuinely. Oh, nearly got a bit emotional there. No, no. But yeah, no, honestly, thank you guys. It's awesome speaking to you all the time. Anyway, right, cool. Yes, love you too, Finn. You go and be that police officer, mate. Right, guys, I will see you for when's that song going to see? I'll see you for Survivor Series, potentially at 3:30 in the morning on a Saturday night. If not, I will see you for Liverpool versus West Ham at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which might be slightly more appropriate time. But either way, I'll see you over the weekend. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will speak to you all soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.